Welcome to the Therapy by Choice podcast, where we offer educational information on a variety of mental health topics. We speak to specialists in the field, and we answer your questions. My name is Robyne Vance. I'm an associate marriage and family therapist here at Therapy by Choice and your host for this podcast. Therapy by Choice is a private practice with offices located in San Jose and Palo Alto, California. At Therapy by Choice, we provide both in-person and virtual therapeutic services for individuals, couples, and families. People seek therapy for many reasons, whether you are a couple needing more insight into your relationship, a couple on the verge of breaking up, an individual who may be experiencing depression and anxiety or career changes, or families grieving the loss of a loved one or needing guidance. Here at Therapy by Choice, we are skilled and prepared to help in many areas. A listing of our specialties can be found at www.therapybychoice.com and click on Services. We do offer a free 15-minute consultation for you to speak with a therapist to see if therapy and the therapist are a fit for your needs. To speak with us to see how we can meet your needs, please call or text us at 408-786-9651. That's 408-786-9651. Or visit our website at www.therapybychoice.com, where you can read about our practice, the areas in which we offer services, and read about our staff. That's www.therapybychoice.com. Therapy by Choice, helping clients feel better. Welcome to the Therapy by Choice podcast. My name is Robyne Vance. In today's episode, we're going to explore something that may surprise you: the emotional complexity behind not receiving an Easter basket as an adult. Yes, you heard me right. While Easter is usually associated with chocolate eggs and candy, family gatherings, that cute bunny, and of course those sweet baskets filled with goodies and toys, the absence of one can bring up some surprising emotions. Easter baskets are traditionally associated with children, but that doesn't mean that adults don't cherish them and benefit from the joy they bring. I'm sure you've seen those reels on popular social media apps where an adult child is hysterically crying, proclaiming, "My mom doesn't love me anymore." To which the parent responds, "That's not what I said. I said you're too old for an Easter basket." And the adult child yells back, "That's the same thing." Funny, right? Yet also somehow accurate to how we might feel. So join me and let's unpack why this little basket means so much and how we can navigate disappointment when one doesn't appear. Let's start by looking at expectation versus reality, the disappointment dilemma. All right, let me set the scene. Easter, one of those holidays where the traditions run deep. For many of us, Easter means pastel-colored baskets, chocolate bunnies, and a sense of festivity. It's about that joy and connection with family, right? But what happens when that iconic basket just doesn't show up? Or worse, maybe it never did. That's where the disappointment kicks in. It's like, picture this. You've been imagining Easter morning, the excitement of searching for hidden eggs and discovering that basket full of treats. Then reality hits. No basket. And the gap between what you hoped for and what actually happened? Well, that's what we call cognitive dissonance. Now I know that sounds like a big phrase, so let me break down the clinical definition, then offer one that's a bit easier to digest and understand. Cognitive dissonance is a psychological phenomenon that occurs when a person concurrently harbors two or more opposing attitudes, behaviors, or beliefs. Tension and discomfort are caused by this inconsistency, which prompts the person to attempt to settle the dispute. Now, in lay terms, cognitive dissonance is like that uncomfortable feeling when your expectations don't line up with what you actually get. And sometimes it can be more than just a minor letdown. It's like a bit of a gut punch. Let's take a look at an example where cognitive dissonance may be at play when it comes to an Easter basket. Jack is a 31-year-old married father of two who recently lost his mother. Jack's mother was big on holidays and would make a huge feast every Easter and fill Jack's basket to the brim, and would also throw a huge Easter egg hunt for the entire neighborhood. This year, with Easter fast approaching and having two small children, Jack feels obligated to be just as bright and festive on Easter as his mother was. The dissonance here is the conflict between Jack's grief and sadness and the expectation to be celebratory and happy for the sake of his children. Can you think of other examples in your life that cognitive dissonance may be at play? Next up, let's talk about the nostalgia factor. How Easter baskets are so tied to childhood. This perhaps is the area where adults feel the most missing link. Now let's dive a bit deeper. Easter baskets, especially for those who grew up with them, are tied to childhood. Think about it. Those mornings filled with anticipation, coloring and dyeing the eggs, the joy of hunting for eggs, the unraveling of your Easter basket, and that warm feeling of love and care. Now, as we get older, though, some of those traditions naturally fade, and suddenly that basket, an emblem of childhood, doesn't appear. What does that leave us with? A feeling of loss. I have one such example in my own life. My grandmother was known far and wide for her dinner rolls, amongst many other things. And during the holidays, that signaled the time of year when my grandma's roll production would crank into high gear. I can smell, I can envision, I can see everything about this process. And my grandma would also make each grandchild and person she loved their own little personal pan of rolls. I mean, her rolls were the best thing. And my mouth is salivating now just thinking about them. But since my grandmother has passed, and those rolls were tied to her and the coming of holidays, I've never quite looked at rolls the same way, and when there's one on my plate, it usually just serves as a garnish. Let's talk about the comparison trap. It's more than just candy or toys. It's about the symbol of love, care, and connection. So when the basket doesn't show up, it can leave you feeling a bit, well, forgotten or disconnected. And in today's world of social media, where people are posting their perfectly curated baskets, that absence can feel even heavier. Suddenly, you're comparing yourself to everyone else, and that can stir up feelings of inadequacy or exclusion. But hey, that's normal. Let's talk about also understanding the symbol of care and affection. Here's another layer to the Easter basket. It's not just about what's inside, it's the gesture. That thoughtful act of putting together a basket shows affection. It says, I care about you. So when you don't get one, it can feel like a little signal that maybe you're not as valued or loved as you thought. For some, especially if there are unresolved family issues, this can hit hard. But it's important to take a step back. The absence of that basket can stir up a lot of emotions, and it is important to understand why. It's not just about the candy, it's what the gift represents: love, care, and connection. Lastly, let's talk about when that ritual disappears. Traditions are like the emotional glue that holds the holiday together, and when one is missing, it can feel like the entire celebration is falling apart. Now, when it comes to Easter, we may harken a time when we got a new dress or a suit, a fresh pair of shoes, and stood in line at the mall or at a portrait studio for photos. And who can forget dyeing all those eggs? For some, Easter may also carry religious significance and include things like going to church service or visiting family who may be sick or shut in. And the absence of your beloved Easter basket can leave you feeling a bit adrift. It's like suddenly realizing your favorite TV show isn't airing anymore. What's Easter without the thrill of a basket to dive into? So, how do we cope with these disappointments? Okay, now that we've uncovered the whys, let's get to the hows. How do we deal with it when the Easter basket doesn't materialize? The good news, there are ways to handle this disappointment in a healthy way. Step 1, reframe the situation. One therapeutic trick to deal with disappointment is reframing. Therapeutically reframing the absence of an Easter egg basket can help direct the perspective from a sense of loss to a greater appreciation for the holiday's overall significance and the connections it fosters. This process includes recognizing one's emotions without lingering on them, discovering alternate joys linked to Easter, and ultimately concentrating on future possibilities. Step 2, gratitude. Now, gratitude is a wonderful little mood lifter. When you're feeling down about missing out on the Easter basket, take a moment to reflect on what you do have: family, friends, your health, a Netflix subscription. These are the things that make life sweet. You may not have candy in your basket, but your life is still full of reasons to smile. Step 3, talk about it. Remember, therapy is not just reserved for crisis. Discussing the absence of an Easter basket or any important holiday tradition with a therapist can be helpful for various reasons. Therapy creates a secure environment to address emotions such as sadness, disappointment, grief, or loneliness associated with the loss of these traditions, while also facilitating an exploration of the deeper causes of these feelings. Additionally, therapy can offer coping mechanisms to handle these emotions and may assist individuals in creating new rituals or traditions that foster joy and a sense of connection. Step 4, make your own basket. Take matters into your own hands. If you're feeling left out, why not create a basket of your own? Fill it with things you love, chocolates, maybe a fun little knick-knack. In my case, it will probably be full of books. There's something empowering about taking control over your own holiday happiness. Plus, it gives you a chance to enjoy the full basket experience on your terms. Step 5, start new traditions. Who says Easter gets all the fun? Look around for other opportunities to celebrate or create new traditions that spark joy. Maybe it's a spring hike, a picnic, or even an impromptu Easter egg hunt, for adults, of course. Your happiness doesn't have to hinge on one specific basket. There are endless ways to make the day meaningful. Step 6. Embrace your feelings. It's okay to feel disappointed. Holidays can stir up emotions, and it's perfectly normal to feel bummed if traditions shift or if expectations fall short. Give yourself permission to feel what you're feeling, process it, and move forward. And remember, emotions are like waves. You ride them out, and then they pass. Step 7. Focus on giving. When you're feeling down, sometimes the best remedy is giving. Maybe this Easter you can put together a basket for someone else, be it a friend, a family member, or even a colleague. Giving not only boosts your own mood, but it helps to strengthen connections and spread some much-needed cheer. Step 8. Indulge in self-care. When disappointment strikes, don't forget to treat yourself. Whether it's journaling, meditating, a nice walk, or just curling up to watch a movie or read a good book, self-care is key. And remember, you don't need an Easter basket to show yourself some love. So there you have it. Why the lack of an Easter basket can stir up emotions and how to cope with it in a healthy and self-compassionate way. The bottom line, it's okay to feel disappointed. Traditions change, and sometimes that's tough. But by reframing the situation, practicing gratitude, and finding new ways to connect with others, you can turn those feelings into opportunities for growth and self-compassion. And remember, you have the power to create your own traditions. Whether it's an Easter basket, a new ritual, or just a moment of reflection, you can make the holidays meaningful in your own way. Well, I want to thank you, the listener, for joining me for this episode of Therapy by Choice podcast. Don't forget to like and share this podcast, and feel free to reach out if you have a question or would like to request a specific topic to be covered. You can text us at 408-786-9651 or email us at robyn@therapybychoice.com. That's Robyne, ROBYNE, @therapybychoice.com. Also, visit our website at www.therapybychoice.com. My name is Robyne Vance. Take good care. While we hope to provide insight and education, our podcast does not replace therapy, and listening to our podcast does not establish a therapeutic relationship. If you or someone you know are in crisis, please call the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline by dialing 988.